Hi folks, it's been a few days. If you haven't already seen it, would you go to my community tab and go ahead and take that poll that I put up there? I was just asking you a question. Do you prefer physical books or ebooks? Physical books or ebooks, or do you just not read? I did not include audiobooks in there because honestly, I don't listen to audiobooks, and it bothers me to listen to somebody else read something. I want to read it myself. I'm sorry. That's just me. That's just me. I've done it before when my husband wanted to, and I was like, that's not for me. I want to hold the book and I want to read it. I've done ebooks too, right? So just to answer that question, if you would, according to what I've read, audiobooks are much more difficult to do. They cost more to produce and all that kind of stuff. So I'm probably not going to go that route. I doubt it's going to be necessary. But I did go ahead and publish my ebook, and it's now available on Amazon. Finally, it took forever. They had it on like 9 or 10 platforms, and just were waiting for Amazon to say, well, yeah, I guess she does own the rights to this, so I guess we can go ahead and let her have it. See, they have preferences to their own private publishing. They have Kindle Direct, and they give priority to their own people over the ones that are produced by someone else, like Draft to Digital. And so anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of shameless self-promotion here. I got a little flustered before I came out here because of a situation that happened, and I don't want to, and that's why I've seen a little bit, I'm not sure what I'm saying, because it completely threw me off my game. That's not hard to do right now because it's kind of a hard time. My husband is still running around in a wheelchair or using a walker or a cane. He can't do anything, and I'm doing everything. Plus, I'm kind of trying to finish my quilt, and I have to do the chicken chores. And anyway, so I'm got a little flustered about something, and I'm also exhausted. So, but I do want to talk about the book of it. What I did was a novella. I've been working on it forever, and it just says it's a nonfiction. It's like a memoir type thing of us living here, what happens, how we changed living here, and a lot of things that happened to us here, and how it feels living here as opposed to back in the suburbs where we used to live back in 2002, up until June anyway. I couldn't just keep writing I can't remember anything happened to us over the last 23 years, but a lot of things were, they stood out. And so I talked about those, and the difficulties here, and the physical injuries, and the dangers of living here, and just a lot to do with moving from the suburbs to the mountains permanently, and the different culture around us, and all that kind of stuff. And since it was nonfiction, I just couldn't keep going and going and going. I couldn't keep writing until I had a certain number of words. So basically, it's novella length. I did it. I went ahead and did the ebook. The print book is. I'm waiting for my print copy, my author's proof copy, to come here so I can go through it, because it's different looking at it on paper than it is on a computer screen, and you'll see more things. And so I'm waiting for the proof copies to come. I'm going to go through that, correct it if it needs correcting, and then publish it. Go ahead and hit the publish button, and go ahead and put it out in print. I like the cover of this better. I made a new cover, and I guess they're going to do that for the ebook too. But anyway, because it's the same ebook basically, but in the print, before I sent it to print, I was going through and tweaking some things, and doing a little bit more correction, because no matter how many times you proofread something and edit something, you're going to find something else you could fix. And it's basically the same book, but it's just tweaked a little bit. I don't know, phrasing is better, whatever, but it's the same book. It's going to be a nice little copy you can hold in your hand. And I'm not going to tell anything about it though. I am working on a fiction book. I started writing one. It's going to be twice as long. I hope it's going to be about twice as long as this one. And so it would be a fiction novel. I don't know what genre it would be qualified as. Maybe women's fiction. It's going to be kind of a memoir of a time in somebody's life that's going to be a fictional one. So wish me luck on that, because there's a big learning curve to everything to do with publishing and writing. Writing is easier for me than the publishing part. The publishing is like, oh my gosh, I'm pulling my hair out, right? But also, the thing is, when you self-publish, you have to toot your own horn, so to speak. You've got to promote your book. Things don't just happen. The way the print is, it's going to be a print on demand. They don't stock it in the bookstores. When they do that, I could buy books, I could put them in a store with permission. I could set up a display and put them in a store. But if they don't sell, guess what happens? They send them back to me. They charge me for it. So, you know, I don't know. Let's just see how it goes with the print on demand and see if anyone orders this. I appreciate it if you do. I would like you to. It's, you know, it's the ebook is less expensive, and I have a little bit of a promotion, introductory price for the first couple of weeks, and that's almost all up now. So, you know, check it out if you want to. You know, I do prefer physical books, but when there's nothing else available, I've got ebooks. And you know, if I decide I like it, I just get the print book too. So anyway, that's just the way I am. Everybody's different about their reading, and some people don't even read. I can't imagine somebody not reading at all. That's a foreign animal to me. Somebody who doesn't read. That's just weird. But anyway, so I'm promoting my book. I sent an email to some friends that I hadn't seen in a while, talking about my book is out on Amazon now, and that's just so not me. It's just so self-promotion is not me. I don't even monetize this channel. I guess I might have to monetize this channel eventually, because this could be, even though YouTube is not the place most authors go to sell their books, it is one of my avenues that I have. I'm not on Instagram. God help me, please tell me I don't have to go on Instagram. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I was just glad to finish it. I was so happy to finish it. And my son, the author, has produced 2 books, and he's in the process of doing what I suggested, that he revamp the covers, put new covers on these books, because they kind of got stale in the market. And I don't think he does a lot of self-promotion. I think he did at the beginning and kind of got himself in a hole with that. So, you know, there's all kinds of ways to promote things, but I don't have it in me right now to promote much of anything. So this is it, and emailing people that I used to know is about the only way I can do it. But it's been really hard around here. The summer's been horrible. This week, thank goodness we get 70s. Yay. And I'm very happy about the coming fall weather, because I need a break. My garden's been doing okay for not tending it. I have finally some giant pink Belgium tomatoes are on the vine, and some are starting to turn, and there's a few mountain prides left. Not a lot. My tunnel where I put arches and I put all the peas on it, that's doing really well. I'll put a picture up here. And then, you know, it's full of crowder peas. It looks really nice. But in the future, I'm going to get some climbing roses to put on that. I have a couple on the back arch, but you know, they're young, they haven't taken off. I'm going to try to amend that soil over the winter time and maybe get some climbing roses for it. Let's see, what else? I don't know if there's anything else in the garden, because I really didn't. The blueberries were the biggest bumper crop I think I've ever had, and they're about petered out now with me giving some to the chickens. I didn't eat a lot of blueberries myself. My moonglow pear tree is covered in pears, and they're coming right now. I've had one yesterday and the one day before, and I'm like, that's so good. Moonglow pears are kind of like a hard pear. It's like you bite into it, it's like an apple when you bite into it, and but it's juicy and it's sweet inside. And they don't come ripe until the end of August, 1st of September, and they're just now, a lot of them are starting to be ready to eat, and I'm going to enjoy that, carnivore or not. So that's what's going on here. Please check out my ebook. The Amazon link there's an Amazon link now. I think I put it in my community section. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm so tired. I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I've been taking this stuff for a week that this doctor gave me. He said, you can take all this at once. Like, it's got 2 nasal sprays and an oral medicine. Well, 2 oral medicines, and one of them is a steroid. I haven't taken a steroid in decades, I don't think. But I thought anything to try it. I don't know that it's working. I just don't know that it's working. If I concentrate on something, if I eat anything, it starts a coughing fit. So I'm amazed I can stay out here this long and talk. I don't know. Maybe that's helpful. I don't know. Usually when I talk on the phone, I end up coughing myself to death. And yeah, that's what's going on now. Please check out the Amazon link and the new cover. And I hope one of these days to have a piece of fiction out. So if any of you are authors, let me know. Also, put in the comment section. If you haven't you haven't answered the poll, which I would love you to do you prefer physical books, digital books, or do you just not read? Like I said, I didn't put audiobooks as a choice because I don't really plan to do audiobooks. You know, a lot of people love them. I just don't prefer them anyway, and I don't think at this stage, I don't think it's really feasible to do that. So, thank you for all your support, and appreciate it. And look at the Omega rocks. Look how they are. The 5 boys are gone. There were 4 boys. And Duncan, in the last few days, ended up in the sale pen because he began attacking my shoes. And I have Nathaniel and Angus, and they're 4 girls, and they're beautiful. And Angus is really on the ball with predators. He was telling me the cat was a danger to me this morning. So, so far so good. So enjoy the video, and we'll catch you later. We'll see what happens in the future. Maybe I'll make more this winter. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Bye, y'all.
You need to stay outside the free range very long, buddy. He reminds me a lot of Hector. He's high energy, that boy. Hi, guys. Hey, girls. Hey, girls. There's Angus. There's the Angus. He's a good boy so far. These are what I have left. I got my 4 girls. Hello. This is Ethel. Nobody's going to be able to tell them apart if I tell you who they are. That over there is Hazel. You'd have to see their combs and see the difference between them. That's Hazel. And there's Nathaniel. And there is, who's this girl? Oh, I see who you are. Where's Tally? Tally's over there, I think. Or is this, let me see your comb. This is Tally right here. This is Tallulah. This is Nathaniel, big, beautiful Nathaniel, who's very mild-mannered. He's a little bit smaller, slightly smaller than Angus. Angus is gorgeous. He's big, he's beautiful. You starting to get a little lift in your tail that you didn't have before there, Nathaniel. What are you yelling at me for, huh? What you yelling at me for, girl? What are you yelling for? Hazel. Hazel, what is your deal? Hazel's been a pain lately. Okay. Okay, I had 4 sail cockerels, and I was going to keep Duncan, and then Duncan became my attacker. He started ow! I don't really want you on my shoulder. What are you doing? Oh my God, girl, sorry. She jumped on my shoulder. Girl, what is your problem? Hey there, Angus. Angus is so bouncy. I hope he doesn't turn mean. He's just very energetic. He reminds me so much of Hector in a lot of ways. He doesn't really look like him. Hector had a much larger comb. But yeah, Angus. Angus, come over here. I can't film you behind me. Come here. Angus, come here. Anyway, I had 4 sail cockerels. I couldn't sell them. I couldn't give them away. People around here don't know the difference between these beautiful breeder quality exhibitions type barred Plymouth Rocks and old hatchery stock. If they had them side by side, they could certainly see the difference. But all they see is stripes. All right. Oh yeah, it's a barred rock. Well, not everything with stripes is a barred rock. These are the real thing. These are the real deal. Aren't you the real? Oh, girl, what? She turned over my chair over there. Good grief, woman. It's okay. Now see, if that had been the Bedham coaches and the Easter eggs, they would have run like somebody was after them with a hatchet. Yeah, but yeah, these guys so far are really good. Nathaniel's a sweetheart. This guy is super high energy and very dominant. But Duncan was with, he was part of my 3 chosen, and I didn't really need 3, honestly. I knew I didn't. And Duncan became a problem, biting, and he'd rush and attack my shoes. And that was ramping up into something that was going to end up with him to get his throat slit anyway. Anyhow, well, so I had this beautiful Angus, and Angus is very, very similar to Duncan. Actually, his comb is better than Duncan's was. But yeah, Angus, I started thinking, when I started seeing signs that Duncan might be ramping up aggression, I went ahead and started thinking, well, which one would I keep? If I was going to give one away or sell one or whatever, which one would I keep? And I was really not thinking about it as far as aggression goes. I was thinking about it as far as, who's the best male among the 2. Well, they were both beautiful. Okay, there was really not a lot of difference between them, except that I think Duncan's comb was a little bit larger and more meaty than Angus. Angus has a beautiful comb. So I'd already decided Angus was probably the one to keep, and then Duncan decided that he was going to help me make my decision, and I did. But I put him in there with the sail cockerels. Mr. Floppy Comb, I liked that boy so much. Oh my gosh, I liked him so much. He was not a keeper. He was not a keeper as far as breeding goes, just because of the comb. And I had better examples of the breed than him, because of the comb mainly. He was a big boy. He was really intelligent. He would look to me for instruction and whatnot, and he was really good. And I hated to, but I had to get rid of him. I had to get rid of 4, and so Duncan became number 5. And that made it even harder. So now I have to get rid of 5. Nobody wants to buy these. They won't even pay $10 for these things. I don't know why. Well, I had them up on like 5 Facebook groups, and the Facebook groups are not managed like they used to be anymore. In fact, they're not, half of them aren't managed at all. And a lot of people use them for advertising instead of selling their livestock or rehoming them or whatever you want to call it. So I didn't have any luck there. And then, you know, I thought about putting an ad up at the co-op, county co-op, and I hadn't done that in 10 years, so I didn't know. I didn't know if she would allow it anymore. But I decided I've got to try that. So I made an ad, and I went in there, and I put it up on the bulletin board that same afternoon. I got a call. Definite local who was I could barely understand him. Sounded like he was a Cajun or something. It was crazy. But he and his, I don't know, son or grandson came, and they came with a butterfly net, and I said, "You're not going to need a butterfly net." I said, "They may not want to be caught, but I can catch them." I had them in that little pen with that tiny little, we have a little coop with a covered pen, if you recall, and I went ahead and put them in the pen, and they stayed there for hours. It was starting to get dusky out there. I thought, are you going to show up? Because if you don't show up, I got to go take them back in the barn, and I really didn't want to do that. The guy showed up, and he brought this dog cage about the size for a Shih Tzu, and I went, they're not going to fit in that. He said, well, I have a second cage. Well, the second cage was a poultry cage, had two compartments, and it was smaller, each smaller than the next one. You couldn't even put one of these boys in it, really, but they managed to stuff 2 in. He put 3 in that little cage and then put 2 in the other, and I was so upset because I just thought, I've never manhandled my birds. I mean, a lot of people do this, and, you know, some people think, well, they just regularly turn a rooster upside down and hang it by his legs, and I don't do that. Not unless he's going to die. I don't do that. And they may be headed for the soup pot, but I really had to grit my teeth and say, I've got to do this. I'm overloaded. I can't do anymore. So my husband's walking. He's in a wheelchair or a walker or a cane, and I can't. I'm trying to handle everything. He bought a riding mower, a used one, and it is so dangerous. I mean, it doesn't have brakes on it. Literally never had brakes. It wasn't made with brakes. It's a Craftsman. And he said, I'm so scared of that mower. And I said, well, sell it. Don't mess with used mowers again. I said, hire somebody to do this work or get us a new mower. I know it's way expensive, but, you know, we can't do this anymore. But I can't do it all. My garden, my big old arches that I made in the garden is covered with peas. They grew up it and they grew over it, and it looks really good now. But I'm going to, when the season's over, the next thing I'm going to put there is climbing roses. I'm not going to do that anymore. I have a problem with all this now. I just have too much to do. I've been taking care of the chickens by myself for 2 weeks now, and I don't have much energy left. I'm binding my quilt. Angus, you're looking pretty nice, aren't you? You're so handsome. I'm binding my quilt, and if I can just get that done, I'll put that away for a while. I'm still coughing. I saw the ENT. He gave me a bunch of medications. Hello, Angus. You're so photogenic. Yes, you are. You're so handsome. He's a good boy. Yes, you're so handsome. Yeah. So are you, Nathaniel. You're a sweetheart. So, you know, it's been hard around here. Sorry, Miss Camera's not doing so well. I'm not doing so well. Had this terrible cough. I'm choking, spitting up stuff. It's disgusting and gross, and I can't figure out why. It's just in my throat. It's not in my lungs. They had chest x-ray. They did everything. And so he said, he recommended Astapro nasal spray, Flonase, which I don't even take it for a week and hadn't done anything. Oh gosh, what else? Allegra, pill form of Allegra, and a steroid for 6 days. I'm on the 5th day now. And so far, I haven't seen a whole lot of difference. Angus, you're so handsome, yeah. And Nathaniel's so good. Hi, Nathaniel. He's a good boy. They know their names now. Especially Nathaniel. Anyway, they're leaving me. Y'all making it hard to film. Yeah, but these girls are really, really pretty. Yes. Hazel's been acting hormonal. She'll sit on the nest box And then she'll hang around it. And when the cell cockles were in the back pen, she was looking at them and longingly. And I said, "Did I take your boyfriend away from you, Hazel?" She didn't want to leave. And she was acting very hormonal. And when I picked her up off the nest box, she squatted in my arms. Anybody who doesn't know chickens, when hens pretty much squat with their shoulders pressed out, like they're ready to accept a mate, they're usually close to laying. And I told Jamie, the breeder, I said, I said, "I never asked you when your girls lay. I expect later because this is exhibition stock, but I said, I got one acting really hormonal. You know, she's doing all the signs of being laying soon." And he goes, "Well, you probably have till October." And I'm thinking, I don't think I have till October with Hazel. She may surprise me and just hold off, but normally these exhibition types, they don't lay as soon as hatchery stock. And they also lay longer into their lives and all that. So, you know, there's a trade-off there. Nathaniel! Nathaniel, you're so handsome. He's a sweetie pie. Now, I'm hoping that Angus, I'm hoping that Angus is going to continue being good. He's just very energetic. He's running up to you and he's like, hi, 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 like Hector used to do. Hector used to be I said he was like a Labrador Retriever with feathers. He'd run up there and he'd bounce around, and people who are not used to chickens would think, "Dang it, is he going to attack me?" Well, you know, sometimes it leads to an attack, but not with Hector. He was just Mr. Enthusiastic, and Angus reminds me of that. Now, I hope he doesn't go to the bad side, go to the dark side. If he does, I'll have just Nathaniel. And I would like to keep Angus because he's so beautiful. They're having a fit because my cat's way out there. My cat's out there sitting on a stump. If you see it, you see him? That's what he's having a fit about. It's my cat, my blind cat. Anyway, I better get going. I just thought I'd show you my core group: 4 girls and 2 boys, and now I'm down to the keepers. Unless Mr. Wonderful does something not so wonderful, which I don't really expect yet. He may not. He may be a Hector type. And I loved Hector. They have good crows. They come in when they're called. They do really good. They don't give me trouble like all the cell cockles having run around and around the barn to try to catch them, to get them in at night when I allowed them to be outside. Yeah, you keep an eye on that predator, Angus. You keep an eye on him. Yeah, he could be dangerous. Atlas didn't like him when he showed up 10 years ago either. No, 11 years ago. 11 years ago. It's okay. It's okay, Angus. He hasn't kept taking his eyes really off that cat since he saw him outside. Good boy. Nathaniel's walking around. He's like, "What's the deal with the cat?" I think Nathaniel's figured out that the cat is probably not a threat. He's already figured that out. Anyway, I'll let you go. There they are. There's my guys and my gals. So, think some good thoughts about Angus, that he doesn't turn mean on me. He seems like he's doing fine right now. Yeah, so handsome. He's so much like Duncan, so I've got a really good one here too. I just don't want to lose this. He's a better example than Nathaniel is, even though Nathaniel's really sweet. And his barring is beautiful. He's just slightly smaller, and he has less perfect comb. But it's a good comb though, isn't it, Nathaniel? It's a good one. Yeah. So, here they are. The Omega Rocks, the final Omega Rocks here.